What up, guys? The Bench Buddies are back with my college basketball Week 18 top 25 rankings. It's the first week of March, meaning that we're only a few weeks away from March Madness. Conference tournament start this week, so make sure you guys are just up to date with everything college basketball at this time of the year. But dropping from my rankings, Kansas and Mississippi State. Kansas trending the wrong direction heading into March, and that's never a good sign from a historic franchise like them. Mississippi State just fallen out, but they do stay in the others receiving votes, along with teams like Ole Miss. Oregon had a good week. VCU is creeping up there. They're playing some good basketball. And then Arizona, who's 19 and 10. Their record is worse than how this team is playing basketball currently. 25 through 21. I'm throwing UC San Diego in there. They've been one of the most consistent teams here in 2025. They're 26 and 4, 16 and 2 in their conference, and could be one of those higher seeds that could upset a low seed and possibly make a Sweet 16 Cinderella run. They're playing great basketball. They're blowing everybody out, and got to look out for them coming in March. Missouri and Vanderbilt out of the SEC. Two different weeks. Obviously, Vanderbilt beat Missouri in OT at home. Then they also beat Texas A&M on the road. You're more than deserving to get ranked after that. 20 and 9, 8 and 8 in conference play is a little concerning, but it's the SEC. Kentucky's the same way. They're just all beating up on each other. They get Arkansas and Georgia to finish the year. Vanderbilt could easily finish 10 and 8 in this conference. Purdue 12 and 6 in the Big Ten, get a nice bounce back win against UCLA. That game at Illinois could be a tough one after they just blew through Michigan. If Illinois keeps playing basketball like that, Purdue could be in trouble in that game. Then Marquette, tough week for them this week. At UConn's always a tough game, no matter if they're having a down year this year. Then St. John's, the surprise of them all this year. Number six, St. John's at home. Huge game right before the Big East tournament. 16 through 20. Texas Tech stays put if they're lost to Houston, but they win on the road at Kansas. St. Mary's, just two more wins there as they actually start conference tournament play this week. I think they start on Saturday as their game. Tournament starts, I think, Tuesday for them, but weird bracket. They have the staircase bracket. They're the highest seed, obviously, so they don't play till the very end. Kentucky squeaks out one at Oklahoma. Then they get destroyed by Auburn, so they have to move down there, and they're 8 and 8 in the conference. They could finish, I think, 9 and 9, go 500 in the conference, probably beat LSU, lose at Missouri. Texas A&M had it all right in front of them to really vault up the rankings and make a good run at this, but two losses last week. You get Auburn at home this week. That could right everything that you built if you can beat the number one team in the country in your home gym. BYU, a consistent team out there in the Big 12 that I don't think is getting enough credit for what they're doing right now. They're playing some very good basketball here these last few weeks. They get Iowa State on the road. If they can go in there, beat them right before the Big 12 tournament, I think a lot of people are going to be on notice for BYU. Now, 11 through 15, I think you can rank any of these teams anywhere, especially the Big Ten teams, Wisconsin, Maryland, Michigan. They're all right there. Michigan could be one of those fraud teams, I think, when it's all said and done, and that's coming from a Michigan fan. They've had lots of close victories by 3 points, 4 points, 2 points. And then you have a game like they have against Illinois where they didn't play awful in the first half. They were only down one, but Illinois just caught fire and they just couldn't keep up. That lost by 20, and it's a big week for them. They get Maryland at home and then at Michigan State to decide the Big Ten tournament if Michigan were to beat Maryland. Maryland still looking to get up in the Ten standings. Right now they're tied with Wisconsin, as you can see there. But if Maryland wins out, Wisconsin wins out, those will be your top four, including Michigan State. And I think it probably will happen here. I think the Maryland-Michigan game is a bigger game for both those teams for seeding wise. Other than that, I think it's going to be a great Big Ten tournament. ACC, you got Louisville at 13. They just keep on winning games, 16 and 2. It's a very weak conference this year with Clemson, Louisville, and Duke really being the only good teams in that conference this year. But they're winning games when you have to. If you're a better team, you win these games no matter how pretty it is. A win is a win in conference play. And that goes for Memphis. They looked not bad, but they just couldn't really vault ahead of UAB on the road there. UAB is the second best team in that account in the American Conference this year, so give them some flowers too as well. And don't be surprised if they make the tournament, if they win the American Conference and steal a bid from some team on the bubble. moving forward. 6 through 10. Michigan State more than deserving to move up in the standings after going on the road, beating Maryland on a three-quarter court heave, and then beating Wisconsin at home on Sunday. They're probably the best team in the Big Ten right now. Heading into the Big Ten tournament, at least, they have the most momentum right in front of them. Not that way. I mean, they beat Texas A&M by 19, but they just had an awful week. But losing at Georgia is an ugly loss for them. They get Alabama on the road. They lose that game. It's not a bad loss, but I think a lot of people are going to lose respect on Florida's resume if they can't win that one. St. John's keeps finding ways to win games at Seton Hall or against Seton Hall. Felt like they just dominated that one to the end. Then Marquette this week. It's a great game right before Big East play. Like I said, Clemson just dominating in the ACC, just like Louisville at 16 and 2. Then Iowa State with a head-scratching loss to Oklahoma State on the road, but they rebounded nicely with a 17-point win over Arizona at home. 1 through 5. Auburn, no doubt at 1. Duke and Houston, I think no doubt at 2 and 3. And then after that, I think you can rank Tennessee, Alabama, Michigan State, Florida, even St. John's, anywhere. But I'm putting Tennessee 4 because they had 2 wins last week, beat Alabama at the buzzer. And obviously that's why Bama falls because they lost at the buzzer. But you look at those two schedules there, Tennessee could also jump Alabama in the standings in the SEC tournament. Just because these last two games at Ole Miss is a tough game for Tennessee, but South Carolina, they should blow them out. Where Alabama finishes with number 5 Florida at home, and they start Saturday, number 1 team in the country on senior night. That's a tough environment already, but having them be your rival as well makes it even more of an anticipated game for both those teams. But that's going to be it for my Week 18 Top 25. Check back next week to see where your favorite team ranks heading into the conference tournaments and also what I'm going to be doing for my March Madness bracket and teams to look out for. But until the next time, the Bench Buddies are out.